No human can stand against me.
I'ma walk him down, ain't no standoff. Prosper got shot, Tate got shot, Desi got dropped, damn, Nate got popped, damn, Leaky got shot, what damn, Splash face hot, on gang.
Alright, relate. So the scene starts off in ancient times. So ancient in fact that the animation style changed and we see a young one running from these three goons because he just robbed them. And bro was moving kinda clean, I'm not gonna lie. He was using the environment to his advantage and everything. He was clearly a veteran. But after taking us on a tour of the city and thinking he got away, he opens the bag and I was thinking he robbed them of some gold or something valuable. But these three goons were really chasing my boy Wang over some food, bro, like some bread. Like, nah, you telling me y'all were jumping off buildings, getting pooped on by birds and all that over some bread? You weird. Ain't no way, bro. They get to him and he tries to escape, but they captured him and got their food back. And then they toss his ass into this muddy pit. And what's even crazier is that these three goons are the sons of the richest man in the city. So they really didn't even need to do that. They just didn't fuck with one. That's just it, bro. The fuck? He goes back to his base and my boy is broke, y'all. Like, look at this place. It's straight poverty everywhere you look. You might even go broke watching this scene for too long, bro. Trust me, bro. I'm in that same situation. His homeboy tells him that he should give up on trying to be something in life because some people are born with power and wealth while others are born broke and trapped. No offense to bro. But one had that hustler mindset, and even though he was broke with zero drip and got no bitches, he didn't let that get to him and had a plan. So we cut off to this group of warriors asking for volunteers to go into the wild and hunt for food. Because again, this was ancient times, back when people lived on lion turtles and humans and spirits hated each other to the bone. One volunteers, but the leader took one good look at him and saw nothing but a nigger with devious intentions. He immediately knew one was about to finesse their eye and called him out. I know your bitchless eye ain't volunteering, but his buddy tells him to chill out and let him join because nobody else was volunteering anyway. So they walk outside the city to this cliff and then they blow this horn which summons the lion turtle and then it grants them the elements of fire. Wang tested it out and almost knocked himself off his feet. A little time passed and they were now in the forest, but Wang tells them that he was terrified and the leader wasted no time, saying that he knew Wang was pussy and tells him to return the elements of fire and never show his face around him again. Wang just smirks because all this was part of his plan. And I told y'all, hustler mindset. He immediately goes back to the crib to flex on his family with his newfound abilities. Homeboy was perplexed. Ain't no way you just finished the lion turtle, bro. Really? Because I just did. He gathers up a bunch of other broke niggas to rob the richest man in the city. And they arrived at the palace and Homeboy was still against the idea. But Wang tells him to stop being a pussy and that they can change their fates if they just locked in. What do these filthy peasants want this time? We'll go dispose of them, father. The three goons from earlier pulled up telling them to go back to their miserable lives because they got the weapons and they didn't have nothing. Wang ain't about to let that slide though and fires off an attack. They break in and went straight for the girls, and now that Homeboy seeing all this food, he immediately changed his mind, talking about some, you're right, maybe we can change our lives. Maybe I can even back some friendship. Maybe I can even, yo, chill, bro. Relax. The three goons pulled back up and Wang tells his homeboy to get the people out of here so that he can deal with them. He started attacking, but the youngest brother hops on his back and manages to grab his mask. Wang surrounds them with fire and was about to slime him out, but then he hesitates and got captured. They took him to the lion theater when the elder tells him to snitch on his homies and you have mercy on bro. But bro stood on business, talking about some, hell nah, I ain't no gunner. So the elder banishes him from the city into the wild, but Wang somehow manages to convince the lion turtle to let him keep the flame element to at least protect himself. We cut to him in the forest and it was straight hell. Bro was getting jump scared every 4 fucking seconds. He was shooting fire in all directions and I don't know what bro was aiming at. He steps on a little frog spirit and immediately regrets it cause the little frog grew to like 15 feet and started bullying him instead. This forest was his very own Gotham or his New York. There was hell and even the ground is trying to eat you. Bro stayed up all night and was now paranoid as hell. He sees this nice looking fruit and tries feasting, but even that was a trap. He falls off the hill and took no fall damage somehow. I don't even know, bro. But then he spots this beautiful oasis with fruits and a beautiful pond. Shit was straight heaven and he tries going over. But that's when this spirit pops out and pushes him away. Tries begging it to let him pass, but remember, spirits hate humans and vice versa. So one tries to fire burn at it and it made him mad. It teleports behind him and tosses him into the bush. Bro just be letting anyone toss him. I'm crying. He sees all these spirits pulling up and gets a bright idea. Almost finesse the spirits. Wait a minute. It smells like bitch in here. And tosses his ass into the river below. Like, bro, this nigga has been tossed 3 times now. What the hell is going on? The other spirits started feeling bad for him, but their leader tells him not to trust humans and all that. They tell him to just return to his city, but he tells them that he got banished. So they tell him to go to another one. and bro was immediately surprised cause up until now he didn't even know other lion cities existed. He asked them for directions to the nearest one, but their leader tells him a really bad joke, which wasn't funny, but he laughed anyways. I just realized I don't know his name, so I'm just gonna call him Ayo. Why? Because I searched it up and they called him the AA spirit. Wang tries to go and find a new city and spots this animal caught in the trap. He initially thought about cooking it for a second because he's been starved this entire time, but eventually decides to rescue it instead. As he attempts to do that, the group of warriors from his old city pulled up, excited to finally have caught something. But Wang tells them that he was freeing the deer, and this part I didn't completely agree because it made it look like humans were bad for hunting and eating animals. But hey, I digress. Wang launched an attack and started sprinting, took them on a tour of the forest using the environment to his advantage, just like from earlier. And these guys who have been visiting the forest regularly for years still didn't know about all the different traps and stuff, which was really surprising. Like, what the fuck have y'all been doing this entire time in the forest? These niggas really just go to the lion to get the element of fire just to flex, like bro, they don't catch nothing. Wang managed to take out a few of them, leaving just 2 who landed an attack on him. But Ayo pulls up and saves him, turning this guy into chop shit and making sure he doesn't get any pum pum for the rest of his life. You might as well kill him at this point, bro, because what the fuck is the point of living at this point? It then takes Wang to the oasis and puts him in a pond, which had special healing properties. One asks Ayo why he was helping him, and he says it was because he saved a deer, and he's never seen a human do anything like that. One then decides to stay in the oasis for a while and learn the ways of the spirits. So we cut back to his old city, and the leader of the group returned and told everyone about the news, and his family was surprised he was still alive. A couple of years go by and One has mastered the element of fire and even invented the dragon dance, the same one we see Zuko and Aang use in Avatar: The Last Airbender. He continued to ward off the warriors each time, and they couldn't believe how good he uses the element of fire. His old family decides to follow in his footsteps and left the city after getting the element of fire from the lion head. And even the old man in the background wanted to get out. I gotta respect the hustle, bro. And can we just take some time to sit down and really appreciate the incredible writing of this show? Like, I sometimes sit down and wonder how people even come up with all these ideas, because it's truly amazing. Anyways, Wang decides to leave and go explore the world with his new partner and thanks the spirits for everything. We get this montage of his journey, but eventually he gets to the point where everything changes, so lock in. So boom, we hear that these 2 powerful spirits are fighting and other spirits were doing the dash because their fight could destroy the entire valley. Wang decides to go and check it out, and I don't know who he was feeling like because other spirits are running away and you, a human, you know what, forget it, let's just move on. And that's when we get introduced to Rava and Vatu. Wang fires off an attack, and again, I don't know who bro was feeling like. Bro started fighting off humans with less skill and all of a sudden thinks he's him. Vatu begs him to free him and tells him that Rava has been bullying him for 10,000 years. Wang heard this and tries to separate them, but Rava slaps him away, telling him that it was none of his business, which was true. Everything that happened in the Avatar universe could be avoided if only Wang decided to mind his own business and move along. But y'all already know that boy Wang is stubborn as hell, so he comes back, peeves that Rava was holding on to Vatu by this little connection, and then uses his element of fire to sever the connection, freeing Vatu into the world. And that was his biggest mistake. Like, he really messed up this time. Rava then tells him the whole story about how she's the spirit of light and peace, and Vatu is the spirit of literal chaos and darkness, and that they've been fighting since the beginning of time for the control of the world. But in the last 10,000 years, she's managed to keep him under control and keep balance in the world. But now that our boy Wang destroyed the connections between them, Vatu is free, and now chaos and darkness is going to take over the world. And it's all his fault. Like, she actually made it pretty clear that it was his fault. And whilst I was watching this, I really just thought, why didn't she just tell him all this in the first place instead of slapping him away? But whatever. She then continues to blame him for everything, and then she dips off to find Vatu. Wang ends up finding the ancestors of my goat, Aang, the air nomads, and almost died trying to catch up to them. In this time period, they could actually fly, and notice how they did it without their staff. Yeah, these niggas were the OGs. Manages to get onto the lion turtle and was just going around chatting and exploring until the spirit started turning evil, so he had to act. Rava pulls up as he was fighting, and the monks asked her why she was without Vatu, and she immediately looks over at One, seeing him with them. You gonna tell them yourself, or should I? Vatu pulls up though and tells Rava that he was going to end her once and for all at the harmonic convergence, and then dips. One explains that he messed up and that it was all his fault, but he was going to take full responsibility and fix things. He then goes to the lion turtle of air to plead with him to grant him the element of air so he could defeat Vatu. The lion turtle then explains that no human being has ever attempted to use 2 different elements, but One stands on business and tells him that he wasn't no regular human. Like,
yes sir, this nigga spitting.
my boy was spitting. To make this work though, Rava had to hold the elements until One fully mastered it before she would grant it to him. But Rava was playing hard to get. My boy Wang then hits her with the sploot race and she eventually folds. We go through another montage of him learning all the elements and basically becoming the avatar in the process. He eventually meets up with his old homie from the Fire Lion Turtle, and this nigga completely changed. He went from being pussy to standing on business and actually leading a group of firebenders who were terrorizing the forest. Him and his group were at war with the spirits because of this, and Wang's old buddy Ayo pulls up ready to run the fade. Wang tries to stop at them, but Vatu pulls up and his aura corrupts the other spirits, leading them to run towards each other. Wang tries to separate them, but one element wasn't enough, so he fuses with Rava and unlocks all 4 elements, which solves things for a while. How the fuck is he controlling all 4 elements, cuz? But since the spirits can't stay too long in the human body without killing them, Rava had to leave one, causing them to fight. By the time that Wang woke up, the fight was over, and Vatu pulled up telling him that all his friends got squad wiped by the spirits. Like, nah. Imagine waking up and the first thing you hear is some bullshit like this. Vatu chose him for a bit before leaving. He goes to see Rava completely shrunk and could now fit in a teapot. Probably the same one Ankh Aro uses later on. We skip over the bit to see Wang heading to the southern portal of the spirit world. And it was finally time for the final battle that literally shaped the entire story of the Avatar universe. Finally, time I got rid of a toxic eye for good. Hey, you're gonna have to go through me to get to it, bruh. Wang opens up with fire attacks. Vatu easily weaves all that and smacks him, sends bro flying like 50 feet. He goes to get him and hits him with energy blast, all while saying all the bad things he's done in the past. And this motherfucker was rhyming too, like, bro, imagine getting your ass whooped to a nigga that is spitting bars and rhyming at the same time. Like, gang, at that point, kill me, bro, what the fuck? Wang manages to weave the last blast and calls out to Rava, and then they fuse together, and oh my goodness, he started doing a dash with air, and Vatu was hot on his tail. Vatu lands a kick, but then he returns the favor before catching himself with it and going back into the air. And I really thought he was about to hit Vatu with some crazy move, but Vatu smacks him again, sending him flying. So far, Vatu has been mopping the floor with him, not gonna lie. They kept going back and forth until he started to feel the effects of Rava possessing his body for too long. Rava then tells him that she has to leave him, otherwise he's going to die. But Wang was willing to sacrifice himself if that's what it takes to save the world. Bro was locked in. He then charges at Vatu, weaves the energy blast, and lands a back shot on him before going back down. Vatu smacks him and then grabs him, smashes him into the ground, and then tosses him into the air to hit him with another energy blast. This shit was a nasty combo. Like, this was crazy, bro. Sends his eye flying all the way back to the southern portal and then pins him to the ground, saying that the harmonic convergence was about to start. So it does start, and both Rava and Vatu get a power boost. Wang then touches the portal behind him, making him permanently fused together with Rava. And this was when he truly became the Avatar and let the ass open begin. He starts off with water and fire, and then this huge Buddha, basically uppercutting Vatu. He then surrounds him with air and all the other elements, and then imprison him in this tree for all of eternity. Vatu may have been whooping his ass in the first round, but Wang locked in and won in the end. He goes on to close the portals after making all the spirits return to their world and becomes the bridge between both worlds. Like, bro, this was peak. And yeah, that's how Wang went from being broke and struggling to the first Avatar after almost ending the world with his mistake. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. I love y'all, and until next time, YC out.